Now, this is a Goebel horse, and it's a big boy. He's 11 inches tall, 13 inches long, gorgeous condition, no chips, cracks, nothing wrong with him except this. Hello and welcome to M Cubed. I am Brian, the Motley Mix Merchant. That's the M Cubed. Welcome to the episode and welcome to my channel. If it's the first time you've joined me, I am a Canadian eBay reseller. I've been doing this for about 4 months now and chronicling it all here on YouTube to show everybody the mistakes I make, and there's been a few, and the successes that I've had, and there's been a few of those as well. So a little bit of both, and today is going to be a good indication of both successes and mistakes. So I'm going to talk about things that I've sold in the past week. It's been steady, 2 days of nothing, but then it picked up again in the last 24 hours and it was really busy before then. Also going to talk about a situation I find myself in because of the success of my eBay selling, and then also going to look at some things from the last auction lot. Now it's going to be different. This is going to be the kinds of things that happen to you when you pick up things from an auction lot. So I'll show you those in a few moments. But first, let's start with what sold on eBay this week. And it was not a bad week again. I am well above last month's numbers already. Halfway through the month, I've sold more than I did in the entire month of July. So very happy about that. And it's picked up again in the last 24 hours, as I said. And before that, a few other things sold as well. So first off, sold these Disney World coaster set. I think I showed them in a previous video. Brand new in the box. Disney World 1970s, I think, was the dates I found on those. I ended up selling those for $12.99 plus most of the shipping charge. That one cost me $2 Canadian at the thrift store. So good little profit on that. Also sold this. This is from the most recent auction haul just 1 week ago. I put it up on the site right away because I saw it was a pretty good item to resell. It is a 1940s hand crank drill. And the kind that it is, it was funny when I looked it up, there was no listings for this drill. But then I went into the solds and there was 7 or 9 sold items in the last 60 days. So that tells me that as soon as somebody listed it, it got sold because somebody wanted it. And it's hand crank tools, old tools, vintage tools, antique tools. There are people that refuse to use electrical tools when they're doing their woodworking and that kind of thing. So these hand crank things, they're popular. And I sold it for $16 on a best offer plus the full amount of the shipping. And this probably, because it was in a box lot that I got at the auction, total cost on that item was less than $1. So I'm very happy that hand crank drill alone paid for about a quarter of the entire auction haul from a week ago. So I like that very much. This one's been in my store for about 2 months now. It's a Crown Royal drink pitcher. It's about 5.5 inches tall. Not very tall, but it's really nice. In the deep dark purple that Crown Royal is famous for. Received a best offer of $12 and I took it with a little bit of money going towards the shipping as well because it's been there for 2 months and it's might as well, if somebody's interested in it, I'll take it and ship it out and make a few bucks profit on it. So be it. That one cost me $3 Canadian at the thrift store. So after fees and a little bit of the profit going to shipping, I maybe made $5 to $7 on it. But you know what? It's been there for 2 months and I'm just trying to, right now, especially with all the auction stuff that I have still to list, I'm just trying to turn over the inventory and get old stuff out of the store so I get new stuff into the store, and seems to be working so far fairly well. Sold this 222 Fifth mug, coffee mug. 222 Fifth is the brand. It's been sitting there for 3 months. There was this one and another one with a different color design on it. This one had tons of views, tons of watchers even, and it was $9.99. I was trying to figure out why is nobody buying this. It's $10. I put all my single mugs to $10, and it sat there with watchers and views, and nobody was buying it. I couldn't figure out why. I still don't know why. All of a sudden, it sold last night for full price, the $9.99 plus shipping. So that cost me $1 at the thrift store, which is 80 cents US. So a couple bucks profit there, but it just baffled me that it was a beautiful mug, tons of views, and a number of watchers too, and nobody was making the plunge, but somebody finally did last night, so it's on its way out. And finally, this sold this morning while I was sleeping. It's a hanging convex mirror. One of the ones with the convex, of course, being the bubble shape so that it reflects more of the area as opposed to less of it if it was concave. I got this sold for full asking price, $29.99. I did put free shipping on it. It's fairly light, and that's full brass. It's not real brass, and I put that in the description. So I just changed it, though. It's interesting. There's a lot of discussion online right now about the free shipping option and changing your prices to have everything free shipping. Even if you bump your prices up quite a bit to include the shipping in it, is that going to work? Well, I just changed this listing. I believe I had it for $16.99 plus $9 shipping. Well, I bumped it up to $29.99 with free shipping, and it sold within 3 days. So I don't know if that's the free shipping thing really does get people's interest, and they really think they're getting a deal when they get the free shipping. And I mean, it is a good deal. It was a good deal for me too, because this is one of the ones from the bottom of a box in the first auction that I went to. So the overall cost of that convex mirror, was probably, again, 75 cents. So made really well on that. It was beautiful, clean glass on that. So it was a good piece, and it's on its way out later on this week. Actually, probably on Monday. Everything's going out on Monday. I'm trying to ship Monday and Thursday, and I'll discuss why in a minute. But so yeah, that's 5 of the things that sold. And as I mentioned, it's been a good month so far. This is the 16th of August today when I'm taping this. I've sold 29 items so far this month. That's already 7 more than I did in the entire month of July. So it's shaping up well so far this month, and still half the month to go and heading into September and the beginning of schools and fourth quarter buildup, and we'll see how things progress from here. So, that's a few of the things that sold. So now I want to tell you about a little situation that I find myself in. As I mentioned, it's been getting busier, so I've been shipping a lot more, and I'm shipping to the United States. Probably 95% of my items are being shipped to the United States. And as I said at the beginning, I'm a Canadian reseller. And I live very close to the U.S. border. I live in the Niagara region of Ontario, so I'm very close to the U.S. border. So I can cross over the border pretty much at will. I have a passport, and I don't mind going over. It's $5 per trip over the bridge, but gas is a lot cheaper over there too. So, but I got in trouble at the border, and it's because of the success of the business. They don't mind if you come over with an item or two once a week, that kind of thing. But I was to the point where I was taking over 5-6 items twice a week. Well, they didn't like that, because that becomes a commercial venture at that point, and you have to have a special license, and you have to pay an extra fee at the bridge, and you can't go over the bridge that I usually go over, because that is a no commercial traffic bridge. It is strictly for visitors and sightseers at Niagara Falls. So I got in a little bit of trouble, and I've been flagged. I know I've been flagged because they're checking my car, opening my trunk every time, even when they're not on a full alert, which they were a few weeks ago. So, I declared everything. I always told them I had something to mail, and it was one eBay item that was for somebody's personal use, and that was never usually an issue. But when I got into getting 5 or 7 items at a time going over, that's when I ran into the issues. And so now what I've had to do is try and find a way around it. And the best way that I found around it, and this is not a paid endorsement, I'll say that right now, I'm not getting paid to endorse this company, just a company I found, and it's something I want to pass along, especially to my fellow Canadian sellers who may be wondering if they could sell to the U.S., is it worth it because of the shipping cost. The company is called Chitchats, Chitchats, chitchatscom is the website, and they have outlets across the country in some of the bigger cities, and what they do is they will take your packages, and you set up all your shipping. You can integrate Chitchats with your eBay account. They set up all your shipping. They go USPS or Canada Post, and they will take your packages over the border for you. There's a really small fee, 65 cents to the maximum of $1 was the stuff that I shipped this past Monday. But yeah, I found a company. It is a little ways away from my house, but I've been spending close to 2 hours plus stuck on the bridge here in the summertime because of all the tourists. That's both ways, an hour plus going over there and just under an hour coming back to the Canadian side. And then, you're paying $5 at the bridge and all that kind of stuff. So I've decided that I'm going to try out this Chitchats for now. I am absolutely looking into what it's going to cost me to get the license required to be able to go over the commercial bridge, which is not that much further down the highway. So I'm looking into that. I think it's in the $100 to $200 range for a year. So being August already, I'm probably not going to do it for this year because it's not prorated. But yeah, chitchats.com is the company for my Canadian reseller friends. And it was easy. I set it all up. The branch that I went to, they have drop-off spots where you have to do everything at home and just drop off the package. But the branch that I went to has computers right in the storefront. They have it all set up with label printers and scales at every single computer. And the people behind the counter were super, super helpful. I got all my packages out. And because of the volume that they do and the way they're set, they get the full discount on USPS prices. And so you're getting a pretty good price for your shipping, even though you're shipping it from Canada, because you're shipping it with US Postal Service prices. There's a little bit of a fee that gets added on for chitchats, but that's in Canadian. And it was a great deal. I probably spent about the same as I would have spent if I had gone over the border myself, but it wasn't there wasn't the worry of how I was going to get pulled over. Was I going to get charged the extra money? Was I going to get in trouble and get yelled at like I did the one time? And it was a great thing. So that's what I'm going to be using for the next little while as far as sending my packages over to the United States. I think if I have one small envelope, if things are slow and I only have one small envelope, I'll just take it over. But already I've got 3 things to ship this coming Monday, let alone what's going to happen with sales from Friday through Sunday. So I'm ready to make another trip. It's about an hour down the road. We hit down the highway, and I don't mind driving, so I take the hour drive down the highway, crank up the tunes, and save myself some money and some heartache and some worry. And so far, so good. I liked it the first time. They were very helpful. I sent a nice letter off, a nice review off to the manager there, and I think it's a good service. And I know there's other companies that do it as well. This is just the one that I tried and I use, and I want to give a shout out to them, unpaid shout out to them for the service they provide to Canadian resellers looking to ship to the United States. Check it out if you haven't already. If you're in a major center or near a major center, it's going to be well worth it for you in the savings versus good old Canada Post. So I'm not thrifting still. I'm making my way through the auction halls. I keep finding things from the previous 2 hauls as I'm getting ready to list things from this most recent haul last week. So I'm still busy, still going through stuff and listing 3 to 5 items a day. Got busy yesterday. I think I did 8 yesterday. But today I wanted to talk about the kind of things that you can expect to find when you do buy auction lots and auction boxes. Because it's not all going to be roses and chocolates. There's going to be some duds. There's going to be some items that look like they're great and they're not. And that's what happens. But I'm going to go through a few of those things. But first I want to show you something I did get. This was a box lot of these shoe stretchers. These are very vintage, as you can see. They're very old. I'm still trying to figure out the size, but these are huge. Like, these are as long as my feet, and I'm a size 12. So these are pretty big ones. But there's a box of, I want to say 12 pairs, not all old vintage like this. Most of them are adjustable. They're spring-loaded. They'll fit any size shoe, that kind of thing. They're spring-loaded on the width and they're spring-loaded on the length as well. So very, very popular. I got that entire box lot for $7.50, and each pair should sell in the $10 to $15 to $20 range, depending on the style. I think most of mine are in the $10 to $15 range, but with 12 pairs in there, it's going to be $100 hopefully once they all sell, and I paid $7.50 Canadian for it. That's $6 US. So I just saw them, and I knew I saw the pictures before the auction. I looked it up, and sure enough, I saw that the shoe stretchers sold, and so one person bid me up once from $5 to $7.50, and that was it. So I took them, and that's a success from the most recent auction. Now, some things I have, and the kind of things that you can expect to get when you do go to auctions. Now, first, this is heavy, so excuse me for 1 second. Now, this is a figurine. It is Grandpa's little pickpocket. As you can see, the little boy picking Grandpa's pocket, but Grandpa's got his eye open. He knows exactly what he's doing. And I want to try and say this right. Capotamente is the style of figurine that it is. And this is by one of the very popular artists. Armani is the last name, but it's not the famous Armani. It's another semi-famous Armani who does sculptures like this for under the Capodamente style brand. Now, there's a problem, and it's interesting because the only comp that I found that somebody actually showed me on the Facebook website, on the Facebook group, they found a comp for me on what worth point. So it's very much brighter. The coloring is different. It's very much brighter as opposed to how dull this is. I think this is dirty. I've tried to clean it up a little bit in a couple spots just to test it, and I think there is quite a bit of built up dirt on it. So if I'm going to sell it at all, I'm going to have to clean it up quite a bit. But there's also something else. First of all, it's attached to this base, so I can't check the bottom for marks and check if the marks look legit or not. Then there's this. Let me see if I can show you that. There on the back, do you see that rubbed out part right there? That's where the signature is supposed to be. That's on the Worth Point pictures. The signature is located right there in that spot. And you can see it's been intentionally rubbed out, whether it was, it looks like it was rubbed out before firing because it looks like it's soft plaster right over, like somebody rubbed out the plaster before it was fired because it's not on top, it's not added on later. And it does, in a couple of points, you can see a little bit of lettering or numbering. So I still have to figure out if this is real or not, if it's an imitation. If it is real, why is the signature blocked out? Although a few people put in the comments on my Facebook post into the group that maybe this is basically a second, that they didn't like the colors when they came out. They didn't think it was up to the standard of Capodamente pottery. So they may have still released it without the name on it, but I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. But that's the kind of thing you get. That was in a box with other figurines. I didn't buy that separately. It was in a box, so I'm not too worried about it. If this doesn't sell, it's going to just stay up on the shelf. It's a cute piece. And but the thing is, if it's real and the size of it and the kind that it is, I think it's worth upwards of $100. So I really need to find out what's going on with this mixed up signature and the coloring. So we'll see. But again, the kind of thing you get at auctions, especially if you buy box lots, and it's something you have to watch out for. Now these I bought separately. I got these because I just thought they were pretty cool. This is a couple of paintings, as you can see. They are on rice paper, but you can also see they're damaged. There's been some humidity damage or water damage inside. So the rice paper has cracked in a number of places on both pictures. But the style of these, from what I've matched on sold items on eBay, these are from the mid to late 1800s. They are very, very old. And I don't know if the cracked rice paper is going to make a big difference. I'm sure it's going to make a little bit of a difference in the value, but I mean, these are antiques. These are going on 150 years old now. And I, with my untrained eye, if I was a person who liked old stuff, that's old stuff. That's the original frames, is my guess. There's marks on the frames, but I'm guessing the original frames and the original trim around it. I'm trying to figure out, and that's the thing, you have to really figure out what you've got. I paid $5 Canadian for both of these total. They're either worth about $15 to $20 each, or about $350 for the pair. I don't know. That's the thing, and I got to figure out which it is. The one's got the hanger on the back still, the rope, the metal on the back, and I don't know. I'm going to have to research it, and that's the thing. You really don't sometimes know what you're getting. I did pay for those separately. They were a separate item, but I like the looks of them, so I got them on a hunch and on a prayer that they're going to be worth something. So who knows? I mean, I paid $5. If I get $25 for them, it's still a profit. But if I get $250 for them, That would be so much better. But we'll see. Anyhow, it's the kind of thing to look for when you're at an auction. Be sure you know what you're doing. I mean, I knew they were old and I knew that they had the cracks in them, so I took a flyer on them, but that's the kind of thing you get at an auction. And once in a while it pays off big time, and sometimes it's going to sit on your shelves for the rest of eternity until you have a yard sale next Saturday. Okay, last thing to show you. And this one really gave me a tear because I'll show you what it is. This is a beautiful, it is a Goebel, and now it is Goebel Hummels, but now this is a Goebel horse, and it's a big boy. He's 11 inches tall, 13 inches long, gorgeous condition, no chips, cracks, nothing wrong with him except this. Yeah, I already knew he was broken when he was in the box. I saw it sitting on the top of the box. This is the one I got the plate from last episode on. It was in that box as well. But I saw that the leg was broken, and that sort of upset me, but I didn't realize until about 3 days ago that it was a Goebel. If this beauty had been in perfect condition, he's worth upwards of $75 to $100 because of the condition and the size and the style of this Goebel horse figurine. He's worth $75 to $100. Now he's worth nothing, but it is a clean break, and as people have told me, there are people who do that for a living, for fun, and for hobbyists who would be able to fix this and make it look like almost brand new. And there are people who will buy him even with the fixed up leg, because if you put it this way on your shelf, that's gorgeous. You can't even see that there's a fix on the other leg. So who knows? I'm going to try it. But again, that was in a box lot, which I got. I think it's one of the ones I got 3 boxes for $1 each kind of thing. And it's, you know, you buy your box, you take your chances sometimes, and you do see what's in them. And I knew that the horse was busted. There was other things in that box that I wanted. So I'm not too upset about the fact that it was broken. I'm more upset about the fact that I found out that it was a Goebel, and it would have been worth quite a bit of money if it had not been broken. That's what I'm more upset about. So, you know, it is what it is. I'll get it fixed up. I'm not going to try and do it myself. I am not skilled in repairing porcelain at all. So I will definitely get somebody who knows what they're doing to do it. And I'll let you know the results, how it looks when it's finished, and if I sell it and what it sells for. So that's a real quick look, a little different look today at the kind of things you can expect to get at an auction lot sale. And they are what they are, and I'll make the best of them. I'll try and figure out this figurine and the paintings and fix up the horse, and I'll sell all those shoe stretchers and make all my money back just on those, hopefully. So that's the way it goes. So I want to thank you very much for dropping by. If you liked the video, please make sure you hit the like button down below. It really does help the traction of the videos if you hit the like button. The more likes, the more YouTube seems to put it out there for other people to see. And if you would like to follow along on the entire journey, make sure you hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell to be notified every time a new episode is uploaded. Right now, once a week, and very soon I'm going to be doing it more than once a week as I just keep on making videos. So we will see how that goes, and I hope you come along for the ride. Anyhow, thanks again for dropping by. I will see you next time on another episode of M Cubed. Cheers.